As Andy was saying, the opportunity came about to reduce expenses by almost 50% on the plan, and that goes directly into the participants' accounts and on an annual basis, and that multiplied over 20 years ends up being a lot of money. So that opportunity was there, so they took it. I thought I'd first talk about the features of a 403B and what a 403B is, and just refresh your memory there. You can defer up to $18,000 before taxes into your 403B plan on an annual basis. If you're over age 50, you can defer another $6,000
No comments, Foster.
into that plan. You're fortunate. I haven't seen a lot of church plans that have the features that your plan does. Most church plans are just a salary deferral plan, and your plan, your employer contributes 2% of your salary just regardless, just into your account on an annual basis. So you get a 2% contribution. So everyone should open up an account today and participate, because there's money coming your way if you open up an account. And then you get a 50% match on the first 4% of your salary that you defer into the plan. So you get a 50% guaranteed return on the first 4% that you contribute. So that's a good deal too, that you don't see a lot of times in the church plans. So,
Sir.
Any questions to that point, on just the structure of a 403B? Anything there? Okay. So the investment options on the top page here for the plan are the Vanguard Strategic Model Portfolios. There are 5 strategic model portfolios that you can choose from, or you can choose a money market fund. Just to go to a money market fund, which I wouldn't suggest that option. It's about 0.1%. So on this page, these are what they call fund of funds. So with each fund, there are up to 10 different mutual funds that are combined into that. So if you were to choose this 20/80 option right here, that's 20% stocks or equities and 80% fixed income or bonds. And there are 10 different funds that make up that fund, and Vanguard mixes and matches those and adjusts those on an annual basis according to what they feel like the best opportunities are. But they will stay 20% stocks and 80% fixed income. On the other end of the spectrum is just 100% stocks, the 100-0 portfolio. And it's obviously very, very aggressive. If you turn the page, these first 2 pages are at the bottom here of the second page is model portfolio performance as of March 31st. So that gives you an idea of over the last 5 years how that portfolio has performed. On a 1-year basis, the 20/80 portfolio has been 3.53%, and the 100% equity portfolio has been 15.95%. They also work opposite of that in the down years. So the next question is, well, which one do I choose? And if you need some assistance in choosing the portfolio, the next staple piece is an investor questionnaire that you can go through. And it will give you some guidelines as far as which portfolio to choose. If you go through this investment questionnaire and just fill in the blanks that best describe you, on the second to the last page, you translate those over by question number to the A through F that you chose, and add up your points, and that will, you turn the page one more, that that will put you in a category by the points that you score on the questionnaire. And help you choose which. I like these portfolios because they're strategic portfolios. There are target date portfolios out that they're called target date, that you pick a retirement date. And I don't think those suit people real well, because someone might want to be really aggressive or not real aggressive close to their retirement date, and that portfolio is just stuck in that allocation. And with the strategic portfolios, you can really describe your situation and how you're going to sleep well at night with your portfolio, and choose what best suits you. So that will help you choose which of those 5 funds that you should go with. And then the next, let me answer any questions on the funds. Any questions on the funds? Go ahead.
With like I just logged into my principal, I was on the lifetime 2050,
That's fairly aggressive.
Is that, okay, so what would that translate?
That would probably translate to the, to more, the 80% equity, 80-20, or 100-0
Okay,
portfolio.
I'm aggressive.
When you look at the expense ratios,
Uh-huh.
you said those were decreased with the switch.
Uh-huh.
Is that all that is expensed out of those, or does each fund that makes up that fund also have expenses taken
The
out?
total expense ratio this is the expense ratio of the funds. On the bottom of the asset weighted expense ratio, all of those funds put together, that's the total expense ratio of those funds.
Okay.
And Vanguard is just, they're the lowest in the industry. 0.1% is unheard of low. And just for an example, after all of the record keeping fees and investment advisory fees and everything goes into this plan, I think it's around 1.2 or 1.2%, somewhere in that area. And with principal, it was in the 2.5% range. So there's a big reduction, and a lot of that was their average expense ratio was 1.6% of the funds that were at the principal. The funds at Vanguard are 0.1 is the average. So and they do it with volume. Vanguard's been around since the 50s, and they have billions of dollars, and they use a lot of index funds, so it ends up being really inexpensive, and that just goes through your total returns. Anything else?
Do you have programs where you could set up your profile or your portfolio that helps defer or absorbs any taxes on return of your money? As far as when you build up your investment and you draw from it, usually there's some sort of taxes or something involved with that.
Yeah, everything goes in before taxes into the 403B, and then when you take it out of the 403B, it's taxed as ordinary income, whatever your tax rate is at the time. There are ways to reduce those taxes in retirement, and that's something that I work with people on and counsel with them in retirement. So yeah, there are programs to do that.
Okay. My next question is on deals with something catastrophic comes up or earth shattering, and you gotta take early withdrawal or cash in some of your portfolio. Are you able to, and if so, is there a penalty involved?
You are able to, and there are certain hardship withdrawal exceptions. They're not very broad. You have access to the funds at any time in the portfolio. They're going to, if you're under age 59 and a half, they're going to tax ordinary income when it comes out. And there's a 10% penalty on earnings. I'm sorry, on anything that you do withdraw. It'll be anything that you do withdraw.
Okay.
So it'll be an additional 10%. But there are some hardship exceptions, and like I said, they're not real broad. Anything else on investments?
So when the funds go over, we have to select which plan, it won't like,
Your first salary, your first salary contribution contribution to the plan will be on the 26th of May. And then following that, by